This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. Tasmania could bear the brunt of a political GST football following a delay to the report investigating the carve-up. Any changes to the GST distribution won't be known until after the state election, expecting to put pressure on promises made in the lead-up to the ballot box.
For now, the Treasurer's wallet is open for business. Today, further promoting a new campaign to lure more Sydney-siders to Tasmania. Grants of up to $50,000 now available for peak industry bodies to spruik the state's appeal.
We're already the best there is in Australia. We just need to have a bit more opportunity to tell people that this is the best place to be.
But there's a dark cloud hanging over the state's purse strings. A delay to the final report into how the GST revenue is shared means any changes to its distribution won't be known until after the state election.
And that is going to make it challenging, not just for voters, but also for the political parties as we structure our promises to the people of Tasmania.
We've already seen in the draft report from the Productivity Commission a potential to lose $168 million in the first year alone.
We will not accept $1 less. We will not accept any outcome that is not in the state's best interest. We made that perfectly clear to the Productivity Commission.
Top economist Saul Eslake says it's unlikely the delay is political, despite the review of the carve-up born out of tactical politicking, with possible bad news for Tasmania.
The current federal government holds no seats in Tasmania or in the Northern Territory or the ACT, which are three of the four likely losers from these changes.
It's Tasmania's strong economy hoping to attract more people to the state, a campaign breeding fears of a further crippling of Hobart's housing crisis.
We've already got interstate migration coming to Tasmania, and we cannot currently cope with the demand for housing, and it's Tasmanians who are looking for a home who are missing out.
We need to be doing more about increasing the supply of rental housing, particularly housing that's suitable for low-income households.
A call likely to be heard as the election draws closer. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
Tasmania Police is reminding motorists they are everywhere and will not tolerate dangerous driving following a spate of bad behaviour on our roads. It comes as a P-plater was caught travelling at 97 kilometres an hour in a 50 zone in Westbury yesterday. The 20-year-old was arrested and charged and will front court next month. Meanwhile, a 21-year-old was also allegedly nabbed driving with a blood alcohol reading of 0.105. Police say the Wivenhoe man collided with a parked car in the Montello area shortly after midnight yesterday. He fronted the Burnie Magistrates Court today and will reappear at a later date. Concerns are held for the safety and well-being of 58-year-old man Peter Henrick from Western Australia, who hasn't been seen since November. It's believed he has been travelling around Tasmania in this WA-registered white Suzuki van, which was found abandoned last week in a remote car park near Poatina. Police say he may have planned a camping trip in the area. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. TasSal says there are no environmental concerns following a mass fish mortality at Oakhampton Bay in December. The salmon company has confirmed it lost 3% of its juvenile stock due to a human error during a standard bathing procedure. It says its fish are disease-free and there are no ongoing issues. The company has previously received criticism over the Oakhampton Bay operations. This year marks 100 years since the end of World War I, and Tasmanian RSLs are using the opportunity to attract more young people to their ranks. The organisation's state president says without the next generation, the organisation will be forced to substantially downsize.
A show of friendship and camaraderie at the Glenorchy RSL sub-branch today. But there's concerns younger generations aren't interested in taking part.
In wartime, there's a heap of servicemen. As they get older, they drop away and of course membership becomes less and less all the time. So we need to encourage younger people to participate.
This November marking 100 years since the end of World War I, despite Anzac Day commemorations receiving a strong turnout every year. The state president says the memory of those who fought for our country could begin to fade.
Lest we forget, Very important that we get these young contemporary veterans, if you like, into the RSL so that we can keep that tradition and the legacy from the World War I and the Anzacs going.
The organisation will be consulting on how to reinvent venues to make them more inviting.
So we've got a lot of work to do as an RSL to make the RSL attractive to these young people and welcome them with open arms and get the message across to them that we're here to support them and their families.
Glenorchy says it is already doing what it can.
It's a good social atmosphere here, and we have live music here a lot of the times.
A push for some of the 4,000 members across the state to act as mentors for recent veterans, with hopes the new recruits will take on leadership roles to carry the organisation forward for decades to come.
We encourage people to come along. They don't necessarily have to be returned servicemen or be related to returned servicemen. Everybody's welcome in our RSL. Yep.
We're all here to help one another. We're all veterans and, we're here to look after our mates.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
A new virtual reality program is taking Tasmanian students on the excursion of a lifetime. From local fish farming to cotton production in the outback, this Australian first is giving students a lifelike insight into how agriculture works.
We're about to go deep below the surface at one of Tassau's fish farms.
We've got 19.9 metres of salt water.
From the comfort of the classroom, this is how local students see and hear what it's like to work on a farm.
It's asking me, should I go to a dairy farm, beef, fish?
With a full 360-degree view.
We're finding the learning outcome so much better because the content's around them.
Tim Gentle has spent 2 years developing the system. Schools nationwide will take the virtual plunge from term 1.
One of my favourite parts was when we got to see the little embryos, the little salmon swimming around, and you can look at them and then you follow that all the way through. I guess, what do you call it? Egg to plate.
Developers are mainly targeting urban students, a growing city-country divide making this kind of learning more important than ever.
We conducted a survey in 2012 and had some very disturbing results. We know that 3/4 of students interviewed thought cotton was an animal product. They believed yoghurt was a vegetable product.
So imagine these kids that have never been to a dairy, they now can beam in without even getting their boots muddy.
And our human guinea pigs say it's a hit.
I see some salmon all around, going around my head.
Developers plan to update the program with more farms during the year. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
A new plan to flood-proof the Launceston Gorge playground has been revealed and is now open for community consultation. The design is aiming to lift the current area 3 metres higher and includes new modern equipment.
On a day like today, it's not hard to see why the gorge is a splashing success. Tourists, families and children all making the most of the warmer weather, from the ground and from the air. But the Launceston City Council says this picture could be even better.
It's going to be exciting for us. It's a lot of work to be done, easy access and modern play equipment, which is important to have as well.
So it'll be a lot more accessible, so people will be able to, in wheelchairs, parents with prams will be able to access the playground.
In 2016, the gorge was inundated 4 times by flooding, proving to be costly for the council. This new plan is ultimately in place to change that and future-proof it for years to come. The budget is $650,000, but most of that will be spent on earthworks, lifting the space up to the same level as the toilets. It'll be a bold plan, including a tunnel slide, mousetrap runner, water activities and an amphitheatre, swinging the gorge into the future.
What I would love to see in the new playground is like this net with a slide up the top of it. I would really like that to be at the playground.
And I think it'd be really nice to have a new playground because some of the equipment's a bit too young for us now.
To have your say on how this space is used, head to the council website and complete the survey. Community consultations will remain open until the end of the month. Jessica Moran, Southern Cross News.
Let's take a look at the day's business and finance news now with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. Australian shares have closed in positive territory despite the market giving up most of its early gains, lifted by support for big banks, telcos and healthcare stocks. The ASX 200 index has risen by 8.1 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 78.42 US cents and 109.32 New Zealand cents.
There's no respite for the Hobart Hurricanes in the WBBL, the Canes falling 42 runs short of the Brisbane Heat at Launceston Arena. Vaida Krishnamurthy showed flashes of brilliance with the bat, but a lower order collapse sealed the team's fate. After her standout performance yesterday, Beth Mooney was back for the Heat, but this time Nicola Hancock drew first blood.
Oh, what a catch! That is a beauty!
Mooney gone for 7 before Hayley Matthews dismissed Deandra Dotton for 17. But it was slim pickings until Kirby Short was caught, bringing a 99-run partnership to an end. From the very start, Brisbane's target of 168 seemed out of reach. 138 is the highest score the Canes have mustered this season. Matthews went for 8.
It's fallen straight, that's going to go to mid-off and it's going to be out.
Stephanie DeFara followed suit in the 7th over, going out with figures of 19 off 28. Before Vaida Krishnamurthy supplied some much-needed firepower.
That one's better, that's hit long and hard down the line, came in off the boundary.
Her 6 inspired a solid partnership with Georgia Redmayne before confusion split it up.
Oh, there's a mix-up. If Burkett gets it, she does, and the bails are whipped off, and that is the one thing the Hurricanes didn't need.
It sure wasn't. Krishnamurthy was bowled for 33. The Canes then lost their last 6 wickets for 17 runs. The revolving door ended with the Canes at 126, 42 runs short. But Georgia Redmayne remains optimistic the side can turn things around.
Yeah, I think there's definitely plenty of positives to take out. I think we're improving from yesterday and from previous games. So, I think that's probably something that we can look at and, pat ourselves on the back and look forward to next weekend against the Renegades.
Fan favourite Eugenie Bouchard has been bundled out of the Hobart International. In a battle of power, rising star Aryna Sabalenka took the match over Bouchard 4-6, 3-6. Earlier in the day, defending champion Elise Mertens progressed, while Australian Jamie Fawless had a hard-fought victory against Nina Stojanovic.
Former world number 5 Eugenie Bouchard headlined today's action at the Hobart International. The Canadian coming up against rising star Belarusian Aryna Sabalenka.
Terrific 1-2 punch.
19-year-old Sabalenka getting off on the front foot.
Sabalenka starting like a trade.
Bouchard tried to stop the rhythm.
Yeah, it's tough overhead, that's it.
With the pressure on, Bouchard suffered unforced errors. 2 double faults throwing the first set to Sabalenka.
Yeah, it's another one that's long. 2 double faults in a row.
Through the second set, Sabalenka powered the returns. But as she edged towards match point, Bouchard managed to hold serve.
He finally makes a second serve.
But it wasn't enough to stop this rising star.
It's another excellent win for Aryna Sabalenka. The 19-year-old takes down the former world number 5, Eugenie Bouchard.
It's a really good start for me and really nice to see it too. Thank you all you guys for the support. And yeah, it's actually I like this tournament. It's really nice to be here.
Belgian Elise Mertens began her title defence facing Japan's Kurumi Nara. Nara struggled to make progress in the first set. Mertens had the power and knew when to use it.
Oh, the deadly combination of power and touch from Elise Mertens.
In the second set, Nara tried to stop the momentum, punching back.
Oh, that's wonderful tennis.
As Mertens edged to a match point, Nara stretched her opponent in the crucial moment.
Oh, that's well saved.
But with an ace, the defending champion took the second match point.
Well, Elise Mertens just can't stop winning in Hobart.
I'm really happy to be back. I mean, this is where it all began. So I'm really happy that I can play on this court again because I feel really like home here.
In the first match on centre court today, it was a hard slog between Australian Jamie Fawless and Serbian Nina Stojanovic. There were fireworks as Fawless took the first set, with Stojanovic questioning a late call.
Why are you doing this? Is it because I'm playing against Australia or what?
Stojanovic came out firing in the second set, the match coming down to a tense tiebreak.
It's wide and Jamie Fawless moves through to the second round.
She played really well in some of those points. There was nothing I really could do, but yeah, really happy with how today went.
In the second round, Fawless faces Britain's Heather Watson, who took out the 2015 Hobart International. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Tasmanian team Export Roo continues to lead the pack after day 2 of the SB20 World Series. A change in conditions hasn't hampered crews with another day of fast racing on the River Derwent. Despite suffering a penalty for a starting line breach, the Michael Cooper skippered Export Roo is well placed on the leaderboard. British team Marvel is currently in 2nd place, followed by fellow countryman Excellent. It's shaping up to be a contest between Australia, France and Britain. The series will wrap up on Thursday.
Good evening. Hobart 26 today, Launceston 24, Burnie reached 25 and Devonport 22 degrees. 27 was the top at Cressy, Fingal and Hobart Airport. Mostly clear today apart from an isolated shower over the west and far south. St Helens and Campania 26, Wynyard, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park 25, Grove 24 today and a number of stations reported 21, including Lowhead, Lyre, Weenie, Strawn and the Bass Strait Islands. A narrow band of low-level cloud is near our southwest. That's along with a weak cold front there. Cloud with isolated thunderstorms over parts of South Australia, New South Wales and Victoria due to a surface trough and monsoonal conditions over the northern tropics. The onshore flow had that cloud cover over the west and southwest with some afternoon convective cloud over the Midlands. Tomorrow, a low develops to the east of Tasmania on a front. A high builds over the Bight as troughs remain over Western Australia and through central and south-eastern areas. Northwest to westerly winds up to 20 knots before shifting west-southwesterly, lighter winds over the inland lakes. Nothing to warn you about apart from Joe Palmer is back, but you already know that. Hobart showery tomorrow and 22 degrees, 21 for Adventure Bay. Tarraleah showers clearing and 17. Launceston a shower or two early, 24 the top, 22 for Devonport, the showers clearing. Bridport the same sort of forecast with 23. A morning shower for Burnie, 22 the top, 19 for Strawn and Marrawar with early showers as well. A shower or two in the east, St Helens 23, 21 for Swansea and Whitemark. UV, very high 10s over the east and extreme elsewhere. On Wednesday, fine apart from possible showers over the northwest with light winds. Fine on Thursday apart from a possible shower over the north, and on Friday showers developing over the north and west extending right across the state in the afternoon. Sunny and 35 in Perth. Cloudy but fine for Adelaide and Melbourne. Showers and a possible storm for Canberra, Sydney and Darwin, and a sunny 31 in Brisbane. A little bit of cloud around. It's 20 degrees in Hobart, 22 in Launceston, and right now in Devonport it's 20 degrees. And Joe, I'm so relieved you got back from your holiday so well and so fit and healthy. It was my only concern over the Christmas break. Speaking of breaks, I heard you didn't break one cocktail glass the entire time. Well done.
No, and I gave it a good red hot crack at it, that's for sure. Thank you very much, Merv. Well, that's all from the team for now. We will, of course, see you throughout the evening with updates. Thanks so much for your company. Good night.